Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. Today, it's game review time. That's right, today we're reviewing a game. And what game are we reviewing? Super CloudBuilt. Now this is a remake of the game CloudBuilt, and basically it's a platformer. It's a 3D platformer. Now what is this game about? Basically, you play as Demi, and she's a soldier who was wounded, and she's in this dreamlike state, and she's trying to figure out what happened to her. Now in this platformer you can jump from wall to wall, you have to do certain different things. You have a jetpack and you can make different kinds of jumps. The unique thing about it though is, unlike some platformers where they're just strictly platformers, in this game, while jumping from one object to the other, you may also have to shoot enemies and things like that. So it's a pretty unique game, but really, what is it and how does it work and can they pull it off? So that's what we're trying to find out today. So, let's get into the meat and bones of this. First off, the graphics in this game are very pretty. This is a very pretty game, I have to say. I enjoy the whole atmosphere of the game. It looks really nice, and jumping from one thing to the other, there's not a lot of, blur or anything like that. Really good graphics in this game. Now the soundtrack in this game is pretty decent. There's nothing like spectacular about it, but there's also nothing that's, a detractor about it. It's just solid. And I know I said that a lot, but this game just has a solid soundtrack. Now the controls in this game are a little hard to master. Jumping from one wall to the other, or one wall to a platform, at times can be difficult to say the least. And it's not the game's fault really, it's just you really have to know what you're doing. And until you figure out what you're doing, this game is going to be difficult. So now, let's talk about the gameplay. So, basically in this game, as I said, you jump from platform to platform to get to spot as quickly as you can and without dying. Now enemies will shoot at you, enemies will attack you. You have to decide, where am I going to go, how am I going to get around them, should I use my gun, this, that, and the other. And basically you have to manage what you're doing. Now as I said, you do have a jetpack which helps you with the jumping, but the gameplay in itself, I found, can be a little bit confusing at times because, where they want you to go sometimes can be a little confusing. Now they do have markers where when you look around, you can see like green, blue, things like that. And that's where you're supposed to go, but at times it can be a little bit confusing how to get from point A to point B. Now story-wise in this game, it does have a unique story. I like the story and you can get very attached to it very easily. However, I will caution you that at times the story can be kind of confusing, and if you're just playing this game for the story, then you're going to have to really pay attention because she can ask questions and things because she doesn't know what's going on. So, all in all, solid gameplay, but there's a couple things I think that they could have done better. Now moving on to the cons. As I said, this game is a little bit difficult. So my first con today is the difficulty. This game is difficult, you can get lost very easily. Even though the enemies can be toned down, the jumps themselves are never toned down. The jetpacks helps, but even with that, I found myself having difficulty sometimes jumping from place to place. Now that might be my fault and not the game because maybe I suck at it, but I never really got a firm grip on this game. Now the other con that this game has is simply this. The story is kind of confusing. I never really got a great firm grip on it. Some people will, but it was really confusing for me, and that was kind of disheartening. So all that's really left now to ask is, what is this game going to get on our Mumbles review? Without a doubt, Super CloudBuilt, great game. Please check it out. Today, it's going to get a 7 out of 10. Now I've seen reviews all over the place for this game. It really depends on the player, I think. But if you like platformers, like some difficulty, you like a challenge, then this is probably the game for you. If you get frustrated easily and, you want something that you don't have to think about or think hard about, this game probably isn't for you. 7 out of 10 Super CloudBuilt. Please check it out. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.